Check engine light. What's that thing doing on?
What's with that? I started this thing. I'm gonna take it down.
Is it
I'm banging on the thing.
Cheesecake.
Don't pick it. I swear, we do a serious podcast for Tyson, and Tyson can't handle it.
You're a grown man selling 25-cent lemonade.
All right.
All right now.
Are we pumped?
Super pumped.
Are we stoked? The confusion on Sam's face.
You're supposed to welcome people, but all right, let's just jump into it.
Welcome, everybody.
This is also the serious segment.
This is the serious segment. All right, we got a great one. We thought a lot about this since we've gone live and got some feedback from some of our listeners. All right, for this first half, we're going to dive into some more serious topics. We're going to talk about, since we spoke, we're going to go through some life tips and a deep dive. And since we spoke, we'll just talk about our lives and what we've been going through in the last week and whatever else we want to talk about. And then our life tips, we got some interesting tips. Can't think of anything to say for that. Yeah. And we're diving deep on social media, the good, the bad, what our thoughts are on it.
That was beautifully done. Thank you for that, Tyson.
That was
We're
awesome.
very
I'm already
serious.
crying.
We're very serious over here at the Since 96 podcast. Who wants to start?
I will.
Cool.
Breaking news. Joe Burrow is out for the season. Thus marks my second QB who's out the season.
Whoa.
Injured reserve.
Who's your first?
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, dude. Those are like the two quarterbacks that I know.
Yeah, dude, I picked up Joe Burrow first because he's a baller.
Totally.
Started out the season doing terrible, like first 3 or 4 games. Then I picked up Kirk, who actually was doing amazing, like points per game or passing yards, everything. He was just up there. Kirk gets hurt, so I put him on my injured reserve. Then I get to play Joe Burrow again because he finally starts picking it up, and now he's hurt. And now I'm crying.
Well, you're out.
Are you losing a lot of money because of this?
No. In our league, we do a losers thing. So the winner doesn't get anything.
Loser bracket.
But whoever gets last place has to do something. Last year, the loser had to sit in an IHOP for 24 hours.
Oh.
But every pancake they ate took 30 minutes off their time. So shout out Tion. He lost. He sat there for a few hours, ate like 20 pancakes, and then vomited and left early. So
Did he vomit in the IHOP
yeah.
on the table?
No, he made it to the bathroom.
He made it to the bathroom.
He wouldn't have been the first or the last to vomit on one of those tables.
Yeah, it was
Imagine
disgusting.
vomiting on the table and then like having to stay.
Yeah. So he got out of there.
Sick. Yeah, that'd be awful.
He broke the rules. So we made him go back and do it. And he had to do it for like 16 hours or something and ate some more pancakes. So he was only there for a few hours. But this year, the loser has to sell lemonade, like make a lemonade stand and sell a certain amount. I think we're going to say like $100 or something. Just on the side of the
Gotta
road.
bring in that revenue.
Yeah.
It's like a grown man selling 25-cent lemonade.
Did they set the price?
Yeah. We didn't like discuss the exact figures, but
That's
we will.
actually awesome. Who came up with that?
It was a group effort.
That has to be 25-cent lemonade, and you have to get to $100.
That is hilarious. Because I just thought it like, at first I was like, oh, that's not that bad. Then I was like, that is so creepy.
And
For a
degrading.
grown man to be
Yeah.
on the side of the road trying to sell lemonade, no one's going to stop.
Yeah.
Or they will just like to ask you if you're mentally stable.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Is this a
Do you
cry
need
for help? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I need $100
Seriously.
That's awesome.
desperately.
Well, sucks for you. Are you in last?
Uh,
Your fantasy team?
I started out in last, and now I'm in like 3rd, I think, out of 8. So I'm doing pretty good.
But this might hurt you a bit.
Yeah, I got to pick up. Luckily, QBs, there's a lot of them do well. Like the best QBs, like Patrick Mahomes, he's always scoring you 20 plus, maybe 30 points. But there's only a few QBs that are scoring that much. And then there's a lot that'll score you double digits, just something. So
Gotcha.
I can't wait to see you on the corner.
Dude, I hope it's you.
I
That'd
hope
be
they give you like one of
so-
those little nursery chairs to sit on. The
We
whole
should have
time,
made
too.
it like shirtless too. You know, just make it as creepy as possible.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I think you need to hold your mic.
Closer.
Yeah. You're
Hello.
talking with it
Hello.
like down.
Hello.
A lot.
Yeah, it's true.
Getting lazy on us.
Sometimes it's hard to keep it up like this, or it's like right in front of my face, or I move it back and forth, and so that's not good.
It's hard for you to
This is the serious. Miss
Keep
me
it
with
up.
that. The one time that we tried to do a serious podcast, y'all are in the freaking
I know.
Most
As soon as you tell us to be serious, it's like,
sarcastic that you guys have ever been in this podcast. This is insane. I'll go next. Jess and I this week went and explored the west side of the island, which I've only done once. I've only been to the west side, like all the way to
Really?
the end. What beach is that called? Do you know?
there's
Like all the way to like where it stops.
Makaha, then it's
Yeah, it's past Makaha.
Yokohama.
Yokohama. We went all the way to the end, and Jess had never been out there
Good
before.
camping.
Yeah, if you can get past the saddest looking place I've ever seen.
Yep.
Waianae and Makaha, the way that I was thinking of it as we were driving through, it looked like a mix between downtown LA because of the homeless and just abandoned stuff everywhere, and then like I've never been to the Midwest, but what I assume every town in the Midwest looks like.
Yeah.
Where it's like sun bleached, like everything is just brown.
Minus there's a lot more brick walls,
Mm,
brick buildings that are like from the 1800s.
yeah. It just looked like a ghost town out there. It was really sad. As we were driving through, I was like, this is not Hawaii. It didn't look tropical. It didn't look
It's deserty over there.
super deserty.
It's like the Big Island. Is that more so, or not even?
No, dude, Big Island is like green and lush. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, not depends
Uh,
where you
I
are.
guess Kona side is more like that, but
Lava rock and deserty, but
yeah, that's true. I take that back.
it's kind of like the west side weather-wise feels almost like when you're like driving to Nevada or trying to get to Vegas from California, those like in between cities where it's just like desert.
It looked like Bakersfield.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
Bakersfield.
Just 100 miles of nothing.
Or just
Yeah.
like Baker, California. Just
The
it
weather
was
feels like
really
that.
sad, dude. It was really sad. And so we were going through it, and Jess was kind of like, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
Really good restaurants though.
What?
Out there?
Yeah, there's this breakfast diner that we go to every time we're on the west side, and their crab cakes Benedict.
That does sound good.
It's mean.
I do want to go back once we have after the rainy season, because all the mountains were brown and dead and disgusting. And I've been there before when it was really green, and it's like amazing.
Really good surf too.
Yeah, it was a lake out there. Right
Sharky.
now.
Sharky.
On that west side.
Super sharky.
And oddly, like not a lot of people out in some of these spots. Like there's this one spot called Miley's or Ma'ilis, however you want to say it. But it's a left point break, and it's like got some deep water spots. But like every time I go out there, there's only like a handful of people, and it's an amazing wave.
You lost me at lefts.
Yeah, lost
Yeah.
me at West Side because
That too. Sharks.
sharks and scared and local and a flippin' far drive.
Yeah.
Took us like hour 30 easily or more with traffic. It was crazy.
Which to drive an hour and a half on this little island is saying something. You know?
It was ridiculous. But overall, got some cool photos. I definitely want to go back and take some pictures there. Really cool overlooks and stuff. And nobody's out there.
Yeah.
Nobody's out there. It really was like a ghost town out there. It was a weird vibe. The whole time,
Yeah.
it felt like I wasn't supposed to be there. You know, like when you're like trespassing and no one's around and you're like, I shouldn't be here. That's how it felt just being on the beaches there.
Even when you see people, they give you a look that you're like, I shouldn't be here.
There was a lifeguard. Jess and I were just standing on the sand, and this lifeguard on this quad starts like ripping up to us. And it literally felt like he was
Get
going to
outta
say,
here.
like, what are you guys doing here? No, he just like passed us, kept going.
You're just like,
Yeah, and I was like, why do
But
I
you were
feel
on edge.
Yeah, yeah. The whole time I'm like about to get shanked or something. It was weird. It was wild. It was a weird experience.
Why is it always the west side?
I have some good memories of the West Side. I don't know why you're hating on it so much.
Bro, it wasn't it this time. I think if there were waves, if it was green and we had like friends there and we were like more prepared. I think
Yeah.
we just got there. We had just been in the car that whole time.
Were you hungry?
Yeah, I think we were like hungry, like just kind of had a headache.
Okay.
It was just, and it was like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So the sun was just like beating on us, reflecting on the water.
Yeah.
The whole thing was just, it was just an interesting situation.
I have a fun memory. We camped there, like went and ate McDonald's in the morning, and then there's like a park that had like workout equipment, like pull-up bars, dip bars, and like other random stuff. And Ree and I just like hit a workout. And like there's this family and these 2 kids like came up to us and like started working out with us.
That's
No way.
awesome.
But like the parents and everything did not give us the time of day, dude.
Huh.
They were just like dogging us out the whole time. But the little kids were like,
What?
I mean, you were all the way at the end. Did you camp all the way at the end or no?
yeah, camp all the way at the end. But the parks were like more in
Back.
in the city part
Because
of
I was
it.
thinking that because I've heard a lot of people camp on the west side, but the only place I would camp is at the very end. Everything before that is
No.
just homeless central.
Yeah, you'll get things stolen.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sure. But yeah, that was my week. That's about all that was noteworthy that happened.
Cool. I'll go next. Big week, big moves. Things I shouldn't have done, but did. Bought a truck. And like
Why was
3 or
that
4
about?
episodes ago, we talked about how I'm financially not okay. And here I am just keeping myself financially not okay. Always finding excuses to just be financially not okay. Yeah, we're doing okay. We're surviving, but we bought a truck. Nice little beater truck. The story with this one is the night of, I go in the truck to like hook up my phone to the Bluetooth, and I'm sitting in idle. And as I'm sitting in idle, all of a sudden the check engine light comes on. The night I bought the truck.
That is the scariest story I've ever heard. The check engine light fills my heart with sadness.
Yeah. And I was just like, I had a bad feeling about this. Shouldn't have done it. And just full of regret the whole time. I was just like, didn't know how to like process it. Just like sit outside for a little bit. Just like,
Straight buyer's remorse.
Dude,
just think
Hitting
about what
hard.
I've done.
when you buy something expensive, no matter what it is, I don't care how much you like it, there's always that thought of like, this, I shouldn't have done this.
This is a mistake.
And then let alone a car, and then to have the scariest light come on the night you buy it,
Yeah,
that's God telling you, you messed up, son.
I know. He was trying to tell me. He was like, bro, what are you doing?
Whoa.
Anyways, but I've come to terms with it now. We checked what the signal was. Not a big deal. It's a whole laundry list of things that it could be. The engine too lean. So I've been watching videos on it. Luckily, it's a really popular truck, and a lot of people have had the same thing. So I've just been watching YouTube videos about like what they've done to fix it and if their symptoms are similar, because it only turns on when it idles. So I have a few things that might fix it pretty easy and simple.
The
Knock on wood.
The light does keep coming back on though.
Yeah, it turns off and on repeatedly,
Yeah,
like at random times.
that sucks. 'Cause then
Dang.
every time it comes on, your heart drops a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, I had an old Jeep that would do that. It would like misfire every once in a while, but I could never hear it. But all that would happen is the check engine light would come on, and every time it came on, I was like, I hate this Jeep. I hate it. I'm gonna sell it tomorrow. And then I'd clear the code. It'd be off for like a week or two, and I'd be like, I love this Jeep. And then it would come back on.
Yeah. Shout out to you two though. Like the next
Thank you.
morning after that, we went surfing, and like I didn't tell anyone that we bought the truck because honestly I was like, I wasn't feeling good about it, so like I'm not gonna share it with anyone.
So sad.
But Alex was up, like, is this a new truck? I'm like, yeah. I don't
Dude,
say
we-
anything
We
either.
filmed an episode the day before, and you didn't have a truck.
I was
Or I don't think
I
you
was
did.
so confused when I
Then
walked
when-
outside, and I'm just like, whose car is in my driveway? I'm like, what the frick? And then it's just you two. I was just still so confused.
And I pulled up to pick you up in the morning, or carpool, and yeah, like, who's parked in your driveway? The
Yeah.
heck?
Alex is like, oh, this thing's sick. And he looks over. He's like, oh, only like 80,000 miles. And oh,
Check engine light. What's that thing doing on?
what's with that?
Yeah.
But after talking to you guys about it, I did feel better about the whole situation.
Yeah,
So-
dude. The exact same thing happened to me. I bought a new truck. Not a new truck, an old truck. And was driving it. Yeah, it was like a few days after buying it. And the check engine light came on. And I was like, I have made a massive mistake. This is a terrible idea. But yeah, I just like cleared the code. It wasn't anything serious. Cleared it. Was totally fine. Hasn't come back on since. Truck's been great. Cars are just
Yeah.
money pits, dude. Oh, speaking of cars, my landlord has to get their AC fixed in their Chrysler,
New compressor or a leak?
evap core. I don't know.
Whatever
Not a-
that means.
Not a car guy. There's a leak in it. So yeah, there's a leak. So something's leaking. I forget what it's called. Freon is leaking out of the evap core. Anyway, to fix it, take a wild guess. How much fixing the AC in a car? What would you guess?
For that car, because that's a nice car.
5,000.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna say like 1,200.
Thank you. Alex is the worst.
Anytime someone
The price
tells
is
me to
right.
guess, I just think, oh, it's going to be way higher than I think. So then I just overshoot it.
Jess
I'm
is
gonna say
the
49.99.
Jess is the same way, dude. I'll be like, guess how much Tyson is making at his new job. Jess will be like, $500,000. And I'm like, are you on coke? Like, why would you guess that? Now
Because you
the-
prefaced it like that.
Yeah, because
You
now
said-
the answer sucks. Okay, no, not $5 grand.
$50.
That would be a new engine and transmission for that matter.
I wish I was making 500K.
Yeah, you and me both, brother. $2,400.
I wasn't too off.
That's
Double.
Tyson guessed half of that. I guessed double.
All right,
that
there
is
we go.
still
Right in the middle.
excessive.
That's ridiculous, dude. I just redid the AC compressor in my Jeep, and it was like $1,000.
Did you do it or someone?
No, I had a mechanic do it.
Oh yeah.
The reason this one's so expensive is they have to take the whole dash off the car,
Oh,
and it's
frick.
going to take them like 9 hours.
Yeah.
So it's
Jeez.
all labor.
I had an old car. The same little, like the smallest little component needed to be replaced. But you have to take off like the whole dash to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
'Cause
a nightmare.
AC compressors are a few $100. It's all labor. It's crazy.
My brother's starter went out on his Honda Accord, and then I had a Honda Accord, and its starter went out. And so I replaced it on my own both times. But starter's really easy. It's like two little nuts. But where it's located on a Honda, an Accord, is just under everything in the engine. So I had to take apart all these gaskets and everything just to get to the darn thing. It took me way too long
That's
both
terrible.
times.
I hate working on cars. It's so
Cars.
stressful.
I'm trying to like change my mindset about working on it because I know I'm gonna have to work on this thing. And like, so on shout out to Mind Pump, listen to you guys all the time. They were talking about people that they know that like just do a million different things and like excel at them. Like a guy he knew, one of his clients that was like a really known, well-respected surgeon, and was also a D1 football player, and was also a classic pianist, and like also had like his PhD in physics just because he liked it. Like
I hate people like that.
people like that. And then like another one of the examples, it was like this kid with all these instruments that he was really good at, played at old folks' homes, and just talks to these like old people, and also gets killer grades, and also is working on a muscle car. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just gonna be one of those guys that's just like also really good at like working on cars. I'm just gonna like do it.
Kind of sounds like me with all these different interests, but I'm just not good at any of them. It's like,
How do
dang.
how do they have the time? They just like create more time somehow.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Less time watching TV, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
For real, for real. Another update is I'm trying out also from Mind Pump and Alex. Alex referred me the new workout program. So previous to this, for our listeners, was a big CrossFitter for like the last 2.5 years. Through and through. I was like, CrossFit is it. This is the be all.
Gross.
I'm gonna vomit.
Hopped on it, loved it. And since I've been back out here and been doing CrossFit like at home and everything, I noticed I was getting sick a lot. I was getting sick all the time. And I'd be out for a time. Like
Well,
I was
dude,
getting cold, throwing up. You guys remember when I was throwing up?
you were just telling us about a workout you were doing that involved hundreds of pull-ups and miles and muscle ups. I'm like, of course you're getting
I
sick.
wonder why I'm getting sick.
Yeah. So obviously all that like wear and tear on my body was affecting my immune system. So dialing it back, trying out different workout program that's more just strength, less metabolic conditioning, and taking more rest days and everything. So working out 3 times a week. I'm still throwing in a CrossFit workout like at least once a week in there, but that versus 5 times a week of like high intensity, lots of volume kind of work. Yeah, so this is like I'm a week and a half in. I'll report on the results as we go.
Cool.
Love it, dude.
Yeah, speaking of that, I have started using LinkedIn. So
I saw that post. Man.
yeah. I
It's a
don't
good post. You got good traction on it already.
Thanks, dude. I don't use, well, I have like all social media, but I don't have any of the apps and I don't use like any of them anymore. Except I do have LinkedIn, and that's more of like a business type social media.
I have a love-hate relationship with LinkedIn.
But I saw a post on there one day that LinkedIn users crossed 1 billion.
Whoa.
There's 1 billion people on LinkedIn.
That's crazy.
That's more than 10% of the human population on LinkedIn. And less than 1% of those users post content. Like,
Yeah.
that's a blue ocean if I've ever seen one. So I'm starting to post on there. I'm starting to post like health and fitness content, and it's kind of fun. I don't know. It's kind of cool. But those stats just blew my mind.
Dude, your copy on it and everything and the picture, it was an A+ LinkedIn post.
Dude,
I didn't even
got
see
the
it.
Tyson stamp of approval.
Yeah.
It
You
definitely
don't use
did.
LinkedIn, so
Yeah.
I'm on LinkedIn quite a bit, so
searching for jobs or what?
or I was on it more. Now I'm on it just like every once in a while.
Stay connected.
Actually messaging other people for positions at my job, like
Yeah.
to take over that social media.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I reached out to a buddy that I worked with out here, and I'm like, get in here.
nice.
Please
Help
come.
me.
Yeah. I thought LinkedIn was just for finding a job, you know, if you asked me a year ago or so. Then I started going on there more, and a lot of people just share insights, and it's almost like reading the way that you can curate your newsfeed. Mine is set up where it's like reading a little self-help book whenever I go on there. So it's kind of cool.
Some of it's so like cringe though.
Yeah, but everything's cringe.
Yeah.
Like
that's
the
actually so
recruiters on there and stuff. Oh man, I can't handle it.
true. Yeah, I got a bit of a bad taste in my mouth in college for LinkedIn. And no one should take this with any weight, but we just had to, for assignments, we had to go and like add a certain amount of people. And
Yeah.
You had to message a certain amount of people.
Connecting with randos.
Right. And it was just, it got to the point where I was like, is this just what everybody's doing? Is everybody just trying to feed their own ego and build up their network and message a bunch of people? Like, does anyone that I'm messaging really care? No, not really. And so it just felt very disingenuine. Is that a word?
Yeah, disingenuine. My current job, shout out to LinkedIn. I got it through LinkedIn.
No way.
Yeah.
Heck
Sent my application through LinkedIn.
and I'm not really like job hunting right now. If I was job hunting, I'm sure I'd be on LinkedIn every day. So I'm just not in a position to be on LinkedIn really.
I've gotten a lot of interviews through LinkedIn, but this is like the first job I actually got through LinkedIn. Everything else has always been like actual connections with people, real connections, genuine ones.
Yeah. But I've never thought to use LinkedIn like Instagram, where I'm just posting something, not trying to necessarily get a job or an interview or something, just like posting something to put it out there. I've never really thought to use it.
What's your end goal with LinkedIn?
No, don't have one.
To be famous.
Besides that. It's like, what's your end goal with Instagram, you know?
To get hella likes.
Yeah, and that's just
to see funny content.
It's all ego, you know?
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, and that I'm not against. I'm not against posting to try to build a following, because that's any social media. It just felt like people were posting to be like, look at how much revenue I made for this company.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, shut up. Nobody cares.
Except there are thousands of followers.
Except for they're doing better than me, so don't listen to me. Yeah.
I'm pleased to announce that I started a new position.
Oh, yeah, those posts.
Constant.
Congrats, man.
Hey, man. Way to go.
Congrats. Just 80 times. Congrats. Ugh. Shoot me.
Do the notifications you get from LinkedIn are the worst?
I don't have.
You're getting
have those turned
noticed.
off.
You have them turned off?
Yeah.
Even on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Like you log on to LinkedIn and it doesn't like show icon?
I don't want my phone telling me.
Well, not
when
your
to
phone.
look. Yeah, not even LinkedIn. I just go to it. Just go to my post every once in a while. Look at it. Same with messages. I tell my phone when I want to look at it.
Yeah, I try to
Same
have
with
try to have all my notifications off, but I still check my phone so often. So it's like, is it doing much? I don't know.
LinkedIn was the first social media that I could see where people like viewed your profile, and it's so creepy. And you accidentally click on someone's profile, and you're like, "Frick! Now they know."
Yeah, what is that? That's so weird?
It's so.
I remember
weird.
that. Where like this person viewed your profile, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that for either way.
It's terrible.
It's still a feature.
You still see?
Uh-huh.
Weird.
Then you can see, oh, like this industry is kind of like looking at me, or this company, and then you can reach out.
I noticed TikTok does that too.
Yeah.
I've only been on TikTok since starting this podcast, and it's like these people viewed your profile.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's creepy.
That one's a little weirder to me.
That's
There's,
way
like,
weirder because they're just
scoping
stalking you. Yeah, they're just stalking
Just
you.
seeing what's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love that.
Sometimes there's like a view profile like tag that goes on where like I remember this one kid was reaching out to me to try to work at my old company. And I viewed his profile and then he'd view mine. And then like a week later, I would like view his profile, then he viewed mine again. It would just be this like back and forth.
That's funny. 'Cause I guess
Super weird.
I will say it's probably because I've noticed that like on our business one or on our TikTok for this podcast, people will like view our profile and then I'll like click on theirs. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what they're
playing view tag, man.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
That's so weird. It's a
They're
weird
probably
feature.
stoked. Since 96, looked at my profile.
Yeah.
I've made it.
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
I don't like all this notifications. It's too much.
That is too much.
Let's get into some life tips, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, they're called life tips now.
Life tips. My life tip is to be boring and consistent, because consistency is just boring. If we do the same thing over and over again, Tyson just looks like he's about to bust up laughing right now.
Like that kid in the class.
Tyson.
The teacher was talking and just looks over at you.
I swear, we do a serious podcast for Tyson, and Tyson can't handle it.
Never again.
Oh my god.
Doing it for me.
He's off, dude. No, I'm just kidding. Not for
I'm
him.
fired. That's been an ongoing joke today, and I don't like it. Tyson's fired.
Always a little bit of truth laced.
If I'm not here,
laced into the.
if I'm not here next episode, you'll know what happened.
Yeah, we're like, for some reason, Tyson's sick today
Tyson's sick.
for the next
We'll have the
Forever.
laptop there with the mic.
90
Just- he's
episodes.
not there.
That would be funny.
Just make like a stuffed version of
Every
it.
once in a while, just cuts over.
We'll replace you with a black guy.
Savages.
Yeah, it's just a different person. We just don't say anything about it.
Oh
Just-
man. Maybe we
I don't know.
maybe we start this next week.
I don't know if I know any black people. I don't know. I don't know a single black person on the North Shore. Do you guys know any black people on the North Shore?
I did, but he moved. There was one guy.
There are no black people
He's
I
going
thought you just
CrossFit.
meant in general.
here.
I was like, dang, dude.
Oh, no.
You're like, I don't know any black people.
Oh, that's true. That probably came up. That's awesome.
Exactly how you wanted
Yeah.
it to.
Gosh dang it, guys. All right.
Life tips.
Okay.
Be boring.
Be boring and consistent. Anytime you're really consistent at something, you're just doing the same thing, it's gonna be boring, but that's how you get results. So if you want to get good at anything, surfing, it's gonna get boring at some point. So you're just gonna be doing the exact same thing. Doing a podcast, doing photography, and you just gotta push through those phases, and that's when you make real progress.
The boring moments.
Yeah, boring moments.
Do you have a boring thing you've gone through recently where you're like, I just got to push through this? An example?
Work. So
Knocking doors.
knocking doors is super boring. It's gotten to the point where at first knocking doors is just makes me anxious and just feel all sorts of things. I honestly don't feel anxious on the doors at all. I just think it's so boring, honestly, a lot of the times. Because I've heard pretty much everything that anyone's going to tell me. You know, people have cussed me out. I had a cokehead chase me down the streets. It's
Yeah,
not
you
going to get
told that
worse than
story.
that. Yeah. So I know what's coming when I knock on that door. It's going to be different every time. But it's just so monotonous, and I've done it so much, talked to thousands of people, that it just gets so boring and hard to do. But if you continue to do that, you know, you'll make lots of money in the door-to-door industry. So
You've been doing it for 2 years?
4 years. This is my
Oh, wow.
fourth year. So I did 2 summers, and then I've been doing it out here for a full year and some change. So I'm on my 4th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it for even longer, yeah?
Probably about the same.
Yeah, probably about the same when you look at actual time, because I did it for 8 months in 2018, and then I started in August of 21.
Maybe a little longer. But
So, and then I've been doing it just consistently from August of 21.
Yeah.
So yeah, too long. But yeah, I agree with that. It's
2021.
monotonous and it's really boring. But the only way to make money in it is just to keep doing the boring, monotonous things, which it is what it is.
Yeah, I heard a good quote one time. I just forgot it. I cannot.
you even just
I'm off
giggled
the-
right before you said the
Because my
quote.
voice sounded super weird all of a sudden. I got like a frog in my throat. It's just.
Bro, what is happening today?
Oh my gosh.
I'm on one.
I heard of this quote. Nah, I forgot.
I heard this quote. Laugh. I don't remember it. What?
It's been a long week, guys. It's been a very long week.
Heavens, people.
That truck
Oh.
messed me up.
truck.
The truck messed me up, man. Oh, yeah, forget it. It's
Okay.
it's gone. It's in the garbage can.
Okay.
We are not.
The
splitting
garbage
this
truck
up.
came, picked it up, left.
Yeah, this is just gonna be one episode.
Next week we're gonna split these up.
Oh my gosh. Okay. My life tip is to be happy. Semicolon. Someone will always have it better and somebody will always have it worse. And that's something that I've been trying to do because I feel like I find myself falling into a rut a lot of like, man, I just don't like my job, or I don't like this, or don't like that, or my life could be so much better if I had ABC. And so I try to remind myself that the reason I'm having those thoughts is because people around me or on social media or whatever have it better than I do.
Comparison, right?
Yeah. Have it better than I do. And so it's hard to see that and hard to find joy in my current life. But then I always try to remind myself, no matter what it is, people will always have it worse. So people have worse jobs, worse home lives, worse environments, worse places to live, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And so just like stop looking at only the people who have it better and take a second to realize that so many people have it worse.
I had such a trash day yesterday, and just to go along with this, it seemed like a trash day, but like my mindset turned it around for me. So I worked all day, and like when I work, I get home at like 6:30 or even later. But then I had to do a Costco run and a Walmart run, and I forgot about the Walmart run, and I was halfway to Costco, and I had stuff I was gonna like pick up, and I had to pick up that day because like I had ordered it online. So I was like already sitting in traffic for 30 minutes, then just like had to turn around, sit in traffic for another 30 minutes, then go to Costco, and I was just like so mad at myself for like making that mistake and then having to, do all the groceries and stuff. And I remember thinking like talking to Ree on the phone. She's like, "Oh, I could maybe just do the Costco run tomorrow." And I was like, "Yeah, you can if you want to." She's like, "Oh, let me know what you want me to do." And I just wanted her to like say like, "Don't worry about it, baby. I'll do the Costco run tomorrow. Just come home." But she did not. She's like, "No, you decide." Meaning she really wanted me to just do the Costco run. And I was just like, okay. So I went and just did the Costco run. Then I had a thought at the end of all of it, just like, how cool is it that I'm providing for my family right now? Like, and that's when I had that thought of the question we'll dive into later. Like, younger me thinking that older me is gonna have to provide for a family and do all that. Like, that gave younger me so much anxiety. Like, how the heck am I gonna do that? And like here I am doing it and like putting food on the table and like, roof over our heads and providing for a family. Like that's super cool. And so I was stoked, and it turned a bitter day into a good day.
Yeah. Was that last night?
Yeah, just last night.
Did you have one of those moments last night?
Did I?
I don't know.
Shoot.
The reason I asked is because as you're saying that, I was like, I had a small little moment like that. I came back, Jess was gone. She was at Young Women's. And I came and I went and got food at Foodland. And I came and I just sat on the couch and I was just eating, like watching TV. And then for the second, I just like looked around and I was like, I did all this. I was like, everything that I'm seeing, I'm like, I bought all this. Like, this is all me. Not like in a selfish way, but just like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, good
yeah,
job.
I know that feeling.
A little pat myself on the back a little bit, and then just like kept watching TV. Like just one of those little moments.
A moment of awareness.
Yeah.
You ever
like, good job, dude. This is sick.
ever seen that video of the horse that like it's like eating, then all of a sudden gains consciousness?
Yeah.
That was Sam. He gained consciousness for a second.
Dude. Just chilling, and for a second I was like, whoa, this is a cool place. Yeah. Anyway, so I was like, well, I wonder if you had one of those moments too, because I realized I had one as well.
What if we all had it at the same
Yeah,
moment? We all gained consciousness.
Never.
Whoa. Have one today.
You're too stuck in the simulation.
Yeah. I'm just an NPC.
You're just a sheep, dude. Just a sheep.
That's cool. That's
Thanks.
a good one.
My tip is test everything. So if something doesn't seem right in your life, just you're not going to know the solution right away. It's not going to come right away, but there's a lot of probable solutions out there, and you just got to test it out and figure it out. Like going back to the workout thing, like I was getting sick all the time, so my immune system was obviously taking hits. So first things I was testing was my sleep. So my sleep schedule was always changing. Like I would be an hour or so earlier and later. So I thought like the cycle, my circadian rhythm was off, and that's why my immune system was suffering. Got my sleep dialed in, still getting sick. So I'm like, okay, it's not the sleep. And with working out like CrossFit, the amount of volume you need, you actually need like sometimes 9 to 10 hours of sleep for your body to recover from that much. I mean, working out so much from like your D1 days, you just need more sleep to recover. And with my schedule, I couldn't get more than 8 hours of sleep at a time. So now we're testing out, dialing the workouts back, lowering the volume of all of it, the intensity of a lot of it, and see if I can still keep some of the physical gains. We've talked about it before, where my body fat percentage is really low and everything. So we'll see if it starts to skyrocket. We'll see. Testing it out. But test everything. If something's not right, test out solutions. And then be aware of how it's making you feel. Take notes,
Yeah, that's kind of what Sam told me last night.
What?
He said, just try it, dude. You gotta test everything.
I was like, I get
This is the serious one. Stop.
I was like, I get that it's a gay joke, but I kind of tuned Tyson out about halfway through. And so I was like,
You lost consciousness for a
Nodding
little
your
bit.
head. He's talking a lot.
I was just like,
You know what's funny? When I wrote this out, the test everything, I'm like, someone's going to take this wrong. Someone's going to be like, test everything, huh?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Never say no.
Yeah, I was just like, man, he is still going. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Jeez.
I know. You guys are the worst.
I'm getting humbled this podcast.
Nah, you're doing great.
Once I decided in my mind that this is one whole thing, I was just said, out the window.
F it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Let's do a deep dive, huh?
Let's get into it.
Let's just dive deep into this one. What do you say?
How deep?
Well, social media can get pretty deep. Let me tell you. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
How deep do you want to go on this, Tyson? How deep do you usually go?
Gosh, his
I'm just
mom
gonna
is gonna
answer
watch
that.
this podcast.
My mom-in-law is tuning in, so.
Dude, saying the word mom-in-law does not. Don't say that.
You gotta say mother-in-law.
Yeah, do you say
Or else-
mom-in-law?
I just said it, so yes.
Have
you ever said mommy-in-law?
Focus, people.
The quivering breathing.
Cut this out. Cut this out. Mm-hmm.
Social media. Who put this up?
You
Who
did.
did this? Me?
Did you not?
Did I put this up?
Yeah,
I must have put it up last week because I don't remember this at all.
you
All right,
did.
we'll
Oh, I
dive
thought you
into
were
it then.
Joking.
Oh, you know what? I think it was because.
Freaking
All right.
Tyson did a freaking line before he came here today.
You really tested
I had a long
everything
day yesterday.
right
I just finished. Oh, you tuned out, so you don't even know.
before-
But
What?
come back, Sam. Come back.
Dude,
Okay, so social media. Now we're live,
this is probably our worst podcast yet.
or our best.
Or a best. Will actually be maybe entertaining.
We're live on social media, and we're getting a taste of the comments and everything. So I wanted to get your guys' feelers on all of it. The good,
The
bad.
first time that someone said, what did someone say?
This looks like a boring podcast.
Yeah, that's what it was. This looks like a boring podcast. And I was like, oh yeah, people probably won't like this. That was like my first thought of like, oh, that's right, people are mean on the internet.
People are savages.
But then after that one, I was just like, oh yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, we should, when we get bigger, do a segment where we read all the negative comments and just roast them.
Just our reactions of like people roasting us.
Yeah. I
Taking
mean,
the hits.
we're not even that big, and we already have a few of them. So, can you imagine?
Yeah, you don't need to be big.
And people will still hate on you.
Mm-hmm. I was stoked to get any comments. I was like,
For real.
even if they're bad, like we're making people feel something.
Even if it's they want to write out a whole playbook on how to do a proper podcast.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
dude, props to that guy.
I want to listen
He
to
seems
that.
very genuine.
I want to listen to that guy's podcast.
I wonder, honestly, if he copied and pastes, like he just goes to small podcasts and like posts that.
And then he's like, for a small fee of $2
Yeah.
grand, I can teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
Douchebag. But is social media bad or good? Is that kind of the vibe that we're trying to figure out?
The good, the bad, somewhere in between.
Yeah. I'd say it's like anything. Isn't everything just somewhere in between? Is anything just fully good or is anything just fully bad? World War II.
What is it you want to say, Alex? Say it.
So many things. So many. Is anything all good or all bad, and just floods of like Nazism, racism, pedophilia? Like, what do you mean? It's not all gray. There's some black and white in there.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. I heard a good comparison yesterday about social media. It's like fire. Fire can burn down villages, but also gives life and warmth, and you can cook things with it.
Wow.
Keep you warm. I like that.
Yeah. But it can also be terrible.
Yeah, obviously there's bad things. Okay, let's make that clear. Sorry that pedophilia wasn't just racking around in my brain like some people. Golly. So yes, there's bad in the world. I meant most things have pros and cons is what I was getting at.
What are the biggest pros and biggest cons?
I can keep up with people that I would never keep up with before. You know? Like, I know, I won't say any names, but I could just like say just a random person. I could tell you a pretty detailed description of what their life has been like since high school. And I've never spoken to them a single time. Isn't that weird?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's kind of nice. It's like, you know, having kids or they got married and I never would have known that. That's nice.
It's like the bullet points to their life, you know?
Yeah, it's
oh,
just the
they did
highlights.
this, they did that. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool to see like, oh, they live in Maine now and they have a 1-year-old. Like, that's cool. That's all I really care about. I don't care to like keep up with them at all. I think that's a good thing. I don't have to reach out to my extended family ever. They just know what I'm doing.
Dude, grandmas on social media are unhinged. Dude.
Yeah, luckily,
Unhinged.
Old people treat it like old school social media where there was no DMs. Like, they'll just
Everything.
put it right there in the world.
on the
you know?
feed. Yeah, my grandma takes pictures of everything, posts everything. Will like announce pregnancies before anyone else announces them.
Yeah.
Kind of
I've
stuff.
seen that
I've
before.
seen that.
Savages.
Totally.
I've seen that on just someone random, and it would be like someone's grandma that's like, "Congrats to my, grandson and
Soon
his
to be
wife."
grandson.
Yeah, or whatever. And then I'm like, "What the freak? They're pregnant?" And I go to their page, and they're like, "There's
Nothing's
nothing
there.
And I'm like, "Oh, that was a mistake."
When, yeah.
We
had to do
constantly
that.
have to like audit our grandma. Like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, take that off.
When we got engaged, we were like, okay, grandma, don't post, you know? Like, and she had already told some of her friends and stuff, Mac's grandma. So funny. They just, what else do old people do?
Yeah,
like, they
that's
can't
the
do
thing.
much, so they just talk. And they just,
You almost feel bad. Like,
yeah, that's all they got, man.
don't take that from them.
Rehashing the old days.
Until you're ready to post on social media, like, just tell your grandparents to last.
Seriously.
Dude, they'll be fine.
No, we do that all the time. Grandma's been like offended a few times. It's like, you're just now telling me? Yeah. You are
Dang
untrustworthy with the information
Yeah, and count yourself lucky, grandma.
that you know at all.
Yeah. I almost just cut you out completely after your last one.
So funny. I don't like the dopamine hits that I get from social media. And since it's been a while and then we started posting, it's like I was searching for the dopamine and constantly updating and going back and being like, are there any more likes or comments or views? And I just remember I don't like that feeling of the refresh, looking for something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, what am I doing right now?
Dude, there was that one post that got the 5 comments, but it was all from that one dude. And I was like, oh, sick, this one's taking off. And I look
Yeah.
at it, I'm just like,
Yeah. How stoked were you when you hovered over that? 5 comments.
yeah.
Click it.
Yeah, the little dopamine hit.
Gosh.
Oh, dude, it's terrible. Because I'm like the one posting all of them. So I have them. I have all the apps. I'm posting across 4 platforms. I also have my regular Instagram and a photography Instagram
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I post on all. So I have 3 different Instagram accounts that I can like press on and it pops up and there's notifications for every single one. It's ridiculous, dude. It takes up too much of my day. But at the same time, like I don't like that, but more people are seeing, like we wouldn't be able to do this podcast if there wasn't social media.
Yeah.
It'd be like Troy and Abed in the morning.
Troy and
Abed in the morning.
Nights.
What is that?
Ricky.
Doesn't
Yeah.
watch Community.
Community.
I freaking love that, dude. I love Troy and Abed.
So awesome. They do like a morning show, and then but they don't record it, and there's no audience,
It's just between them.
Yeah, but they
bring on guests.
But the whole time they're like talking like there are cameras, but there's not.
And so one of their friends comes on the show. Hey, thanks so much for coming on the show, Jeff. And he's like, where are the cameras?
Oh, we don't record
We
this.
don't record.
It's like, guys, it's 5 a.m. Why am I here?
And it kind of felt like that with this because we waited like 7 episodes to post anything.
That's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Kinda
Also.
fun.
You know, if this just totally tanks, we should keep doing this, though. Just like this.
Just no cameras.
Still mics.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
We play pretend.
That would be awesome, honestly.
I like it though. I look forward to this.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, without social media, we really wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, the barrier to entry for something like this is super low.
Yeah, it's huge. I feel like for photography, being putting out photos and stuff.
Any business, honestly. A business that puts out content can be discovered and can blow up. And
Think about how many people support their families off social media. How many
Crazy.
millionaires have been created since, and
Yeah.
billionaires, and not just like owners of tech companies, but just content creators.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like it's stimulated the economy a lot.
Dude, I don't know how much I believe some of these influencers on how much they make. Like I saw a post recently where she's like, we make like a couple thousand off our rental a month, and I'm like a part-time nurse, and so I make like a couple thousand a month off that, and then my social media brings in $31K a month. I was like, what? Why do you do anything else?
Yeah.
I was like, what on earth?
I'd quit everything else and go full bore.
Like what?
I know it's true for a lot of them, though.
I believe it.
I know
man.
a lot of them are probably blowing smoke, just kind of upping the numbers. But
Because saying that like live and on its own is gonna gain a lot of traction because people are like, what? People like me are like, what on earth? Like, is this real? And then they're reacting to it and watching it. So
yeah.
maybe it's not.
Or that was like their best month. Like of the whole time they've been doing social media, they had one month that was just crazy.
Classic social media move.
And so then they post, I make 31K a month. And everyone in the comments is like, no, you effing don't. And then they're like, yeah,
And then they're like, now I am.
Uh-huh.
yeah, thank you.
It's definitely possible. Like, it's super possible, you know?
Totally.
The creator economy is one of the fastest growing industries.
Creator economy.
Yeah.
David Dobrik did a Wired interview on YouTube one time where he broke down how much he was making at like the height of his posting and before he had all these issues with his monetization, but he was making over $200,000 a month.
Yeah.
$200K a month at the
That's stupid
height.
money, dude.
Yeah, dude. And then all of his monetization got effed up. I don't know the full story, but a bunch of ads.
Did he get canceled?
No, a bunch of businesses pulled out of YouTube. So
Oh.
then they started paying way less, or ads weren't as common or sponsors weren't as common. So we went from making like 200 to like 2,000.
Whoa, that heavy?
It was crazy.
Yeah. All the creators, they talk about diversifying their income streams. So not just AdSense from the native platform, but then that's why you have to do sponsors and then brand deals
And
merch. And so then you have all these different revenue streams.
Merch is
Interesting.
huge, dude.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was like, why does every YouTuber just have merch?
The profit margins are huge.
Crazy. David Dobrik was talking about how, like, he was making no money off his YouTube channel. He was making like 90% of his income was from his merch.
Did he have really dope merch?
No,
It was just like,
it just said clickbait.
oh my gosh,
That was
really?
it.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, people resonate with clothing brands that like they feel like they relate to. So if you have any sort of following of people that like relate to you, you can easily make clothes that represent that, and then
Dude.
they feel like a community.
I have like 10 In-N-Out shirts.
In and out
And I will-
Texas,
Yep.
gross.
Hey.
California only.
I'm trying to get one from every state.
Oh.
Are they in every state?
No, but every state that they're in.
Oh, okay.
I'm
They're not here.
How many states are they in?
I don't know.
10, 15 max?
Couldn't tell you.
Like in high school, they were only in California for a long time.
I have one from California, Utah, Arizona, and Texas right now.
They're in
Shirts.
Washington, Oregon.
4, 5, 6. They're not in Idaho.
Are
Or
they
at least,
not? I think,
at least not Western Idaho.
I think very south Idaho. I feel like they're either
Oh.
building one or I feel like something. They're like right
Snuck
above.
in there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. We have to look it up later. But they're moving east slowly.
Yeah.
They'll be everywhere at some point.
A lot of competition out east for
Eh,
burger joints.
That's true. Five Guys.
Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many Chick-fil-A's out west, east.
Yeah, it's different though. Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out are totally different.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But brands. Branding.
Please sponsor us. How do you
This
how do you go about working with brands? Do you reach out to them? You just like, hey,
Either or.
either or.
please.
Yeah, as like a marketing agency, well, we do a lot of outreach. So I've like been on calls with influencers and stuff, and seeing how like it all goes down. It's interesting.
And is it a lot of them reaching out to brands, or is it brands reaching
We
out to
get both. Like, we market for a hotel in Waikiki,
them?
and they have like a submission page for people that are influencers or whatever. They'll submit to us, and we'll like go through the content, see if we like it, see if it matches our brand personality and everything, and then we'll give them a free night stay if everything checks out.
Gotcha.
And then like other ones, like the blood bank campaign that we did, we used influencers for that. So it was a very specific campaign that we wanted specific people for. And so we reached out to 2 people, and one of them was a comedian out of Kauai.
Nice.
And I was on that call with him, and he was like a really cool dude. Like, he's funny in like person, like actually just talking to him, and on his content.
Love
Like,
it.
oh, that was really cool. That
That's
was
sweet.
like one of the most positive influencer interactions I've ever had.
That's
Dang.
Just a genuine guy. Yeah.
love it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about that a lot with like starting photography. I just don't know anything. I'm like, how would I even go about reaching out to brands? You know, when you're like brand new, it's like I have very little to go off of.
Do you have you need to create a portfolio page that's like a lead generation for you. So like a contact form shows your style of work, what you like to do, brands you've done before, and all that. And then like, if you want to
Gotta
work
have
with me,
Yeah, I get you.
yeah,
That's good to know.
and then post that on your socials and
That's good to know.
all that.
Love it.
Jumping into amateur hour where we try to make the other guys laugh.
Woo!
So this will be great. Am I going first?
You're going first.
All right. So, did you guys take stats class? High school, college?
In high school, I took
Yeah, I took stats. class.
Stats.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. So, do you remember learning about all the different types of graphs?
Vaguely.
They're graphic, yeah.
There's linear, there's nonlinear, exponential, there's bell curve. You remember all these?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just, I don't know, thinking about graphs the other day, just like any other day. And
As you often do,
as I
right?
often do. I just think about graphs all the time. And I was thinking about the bell curve, especially, because it starts out low, then it gets high, and then it gets low again. This is super random, I know. But I just started thinking about different issues and things that are acceptable in society as we go throughout our life. And so if you think about a graph, think about the x-axis as your age, from age 1 to 100. And then on the y-axis, think of how acceptably or how socially unacceptable it is. So the top is very not acceptable, and the bottom is like, okay, you know? So for an example of this, something easy, you can think of pooping your pants is very like acceptable as a baby, you know? And then you're like 4 years old, 5 years old, and it's not acceptable.
Yeah, okay.
And then you get to like 70s, pushing 80s. Yeah, come on, dude. They can't control their bowels. So yeah, that's like the bell curve. And I was just thinking about this with different issues. And then I thought of racism, you know? So a 4-year-old drops the N-word. You're not saying much. Come
You're
on,
looking at the parents going,
Yeah, you look at the parents. You're not thinking too much of it. An 8-year-old, you're like, hey, you must have some sort of idea here. And then it gets unacceptable real fast. And it does until like 80 or so. And then no one really
Not
gives
grandmas.
a crap.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter too
The
much.
unhinged grandmas, dude.
Dude, I'll tell you, my grandpa, he was slightly racist, as I'm sure all of ours
Yeah.
are.
Daytime racist.
Yeah, daytime casual racist, you know?
Mhm.
There was a bunch of debris in our backyard. We were doing this project, and he saw us sweating hard, working, trying to clean up because we knocked down a porch.
Oh, no.
And he's like, why don't you guys just hire some Mexicans to do that? Just totally serious.
And everyone just brushes it off. Just grabs.
Just totally brushed it off. We actually did get some Mexicans to do it for us.
No.
Story for another day. But back to graphs. So there's other types of graphs. There's linear. So you can think of that same graph like murder. Murder is never okay. So that's what we call linear. Unchanging. It's just a line. It's just at the top.
Even if you're
Just-
like 2 years old and you murder someone.
Yeah, it's not okay. Babies, not okay.
Tell you, my son's almost murdered me
I believe it.
a few times.
Kissing babies. That's a weird graph because it's, if you're a baby kissing a baby, it's okay. But if you're like a teenager, then it gets a little hazy. Young 20s, single dude.
Even if it's your baby?
I mean, it could be. That's why the graph is so weird. And then as you get older, like it's okay. But there's these different graphs that are just like all over the place. Public nudity is another one. That's like an exponential graph. So it's okay if you're 1 year old, maybe even 2. If you're 3, it gets a little weird, and then it just gets weirder. Like then it's never okay. Just shoots up. An old person. Yeah, so there's all these types of graphs. The weirdest graph I've ever seen, so if you can imagine that in your mind, it was at the top the whole time. Never acceptable. Except at 27 years old, there was a spike, and that's the only time it's okay. And it was for gay threesomes.
This is not okay. You need to reevaluate your...
You need help, man. You need help.
Always with the gay jokes. Dude.
Yeah, man.
Makes you wonder, what is this guy like contemplating really? Is it graphs?
It's because I'm
Is it
sitting next
really
to Sam
graphs?
every week. It's just rubbing off on me.
The threesome got me. I knew slightly where we were headed, but the threesome got me. Oh, good.
There's this random valley.
Good help.
Test everything, am I right?
Oh, gosh. I liked it. I like
Can't
that
wait
one.
till your mom sees that one, Tyson.
Yeah, my God. All right, Tyson, you want to go next?
Can I edit this podcast? Well, speaking of graphs, this reminded me of Sir Isaac Newton. So he's the father of physics is what they call him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's, the guy who came up with like the sine, cosine, and tangent. And funny story about Sir Isaac Newton. He was a virgin.
Loser.
He died a virgin. So if you ever, what a cosine looks like on the graph? So cosine, it like gets really close to your y-axis, but never quite touches it. And so he's quoted for saying, my life has been like the cosine. I've always gotten really close, but never quite touching the y.
You would have liked our segment just the tip.
Oh man, that's good.
Poor buddy.
Poor guy. That sucks. Oh, I like that one too. That was good. Good job, dude.
Cosine. Sir Isaac Newton, Buddha.
There's been a running theme with all of our jokes.
Yeah.
I thought of that one on the spot. To be honest, he said the graphs, and I just,
You
Didn't
thought
you-
of that on the spot?
yeah, I wrote a note here. That's not the joke up there.
Oh.
Yeah. As you were talking, it just came to mind, so I threw it down.
Dang. Okay.
So I did a math minor, and so like,
Oh.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's actually like
Well,
hella,
what's
that's like hella impressive. Dang. What the freak?
save your other one for next time, I guess.
That's why there wasn't really like a really good punchline for it. It
Well,
just,
my punchline was gay because I didn't have a punchline until I sat down. I had the rest of the joke. It was in progress. I'm like, eh. And then I looked
The
over at
build-up for
Sam
your
and I was
jokes,
like,
dude.
dude.
Stop.
the build-up for your jokes are excessive.
Yeah, man. I know.
Like, why'd you have to go to babies and like the Mexicans? Like, come on, man.
Had to go after him.
Guys, I
The
have to-
whole time I'm just thinking, where is he going? Where is this going? When is it turning gay?
I have something to tell you.
No. When is Alex's joke coming out of the closet?
I know. We won't be able to tell. We won't be able to tell. All right. Well, staying with consistency, I'm gonna need your guys' help with this one. We're gonna do a little bit of improv today. You guys ready?
No, but okay.
Super
Yeah,
ready.
we're gonna do some improv. So we're gonna do characters. So Alex, you're gonna be Officer Lou. I'm Officer Hopscotch. And Tyson, you are Harry Holiday.
Sounds like the bad cop.
He's not.
Or is he not an
No,
officer?
no. So
Frick.
so Alex and I are police officers. Tyson, you were a suspect in a case, but you are a good guy. You've never done anything wrong in your life. So you're actually innocent, but we're going to question you to make sure that we've cleared the air.
All right, mister.
All right, we
Got
got
anything
anything?
else? Just Officer Lou.
Just Officer Lou, we're going to hook you up to a polygraph. Officer Lou is going to work the polygraph. So he's going to make sure that you're telling the truth, telling lies. I'm going to be the one questioning you.
Sure thing, mister.
Okay, we good?
We're good.
What's
All
my
right.
name?
Polygraph here.
Harry?
Harry Holiday.
Harry Holiday.
Okay. All right, Harry, we know you didn't do it. Okay.
Thank you.
We're just catching some real heat from our boss, so we just got to clear the air. Make sure that we clear your name.
Yes, I understand.
So we're gonna hook you up to a polygraph. Make sure that everything is good. You cool with that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing to hide.
So, I have some questions. It's in your best interest to cooperate and to answer all these questions truthfully. And if you answer them correctly, we'll let you go.
Of course, officer.
So let's start out with an easy one. I don't know. What's your name?
My name is Harry.
Harry.
Reads okay. Calibrated.
Where were you yesterday between 1 and 3 p.m.?
I was swimming at my Aunt Nan's house, having a good old time.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
he was.
I just got this new uniform. Do you like it?
Yes.
Looks. I can't tell.
All right, Harry, please be truthful. And I have a. Sorry, that was a dumb question. I'm just nervous. My performance review's coming up, so.
I make people nervous at times.
Did I do a good job arresting you?
I would say you were very thorough.
He's telling the truth. No lies here.
Was I better than other cops that have arrested you?
I ain't never been arrested before. It was my first time.
I was your first?
Indeed, officer.
Okay. Wow. That was your first. You know, that might be a little bit too much commitment. I think maybe Officer Lou and I should switch positions. Why don't you ask these next questions and I'll do the polygraph.
Okay.
Fire away, officer.
Yeah.
Give it to me straight.
I'm gonna need you to cut that attitude. Do you have any felonies that we should be aware of?
No, officer.
Is that a lie?
No, that's true.
That's true. Do you think Officer Hopscotch is cool?
Indeed.
True.
Are you on parole?
No, officer.
Also true.
What's the reading?
Sorry, true.
Would you ever want to hang out with Officer Hopscotch after work?
Well, that would depend.
That's a lie.
Okay. No. I would not.
Try again.
If he would have asked
Try again.
if he would have asked me himself, maybe I would.
Ask the next question.
Do you think Officer Hopscotch has nice lips?
Answer the question. Answer it.
Indeed.
Okay. I don't know where that was going.
I'm so confused.
It's all over the place. I saw that going a lot of ways. That's about how I thought it was gonna go.
Dude, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Have you seen the Phineas and Ferb?
Yeah.
He has all these innators, and he had this one with it tracks a bunch of balloons or something, and then he had his thing. It tracks all these balloons, and it took his like thing away, and so his plan failed. And he's like, "That's exactly what I saw coming." That's what I felt like right there.
As I was writing it, I was like, "This is gonna go basically just one way," and it was about that.
Your eyes were stripping me bare at the end there.
I was trying to make him uncomfortable. We'll see.
It worked.
I kept forgetting to answer true or false. So. All right. Well,
and I didn't commit to whether I liked you or I didn't.
I know.
I should have committed one way or the other.
I saw you going. I couldn't. I know. That's whatever.
That's funny. We're all following like we all have our things.
Yeah, I know. We're all staying in one
like,
lane.
Comfortable with.
Oh man. How much time we got? We got some time.
Listener questions.
You got any questions for us?
Yeah. So a few episodes ago, we talked about what we would tell our younger selves. Now I'm going to flip the coin. What do you think your younger self would tell you if they saw where you were at right now?
Like a middle school kid?
We'll say sophomore year of high school. Would they be stoked? Would they slap you?
Like over 10 years ago.
Like, bro, what are you doing?
No, he'd be stoked. I'm freaking sick, dude. No, I don't know. Get your
I would have told
we're
myself
out of character.
that, be like, dude, why didn't you just like take more risks? Honestly, because I feel like at that time, I had a lot of things that I wanted to try and do, and then I would try them, and then I just like wouldn't follow through. Like I recorded a YouTube video back in 2017, and I never posted it. And then I recorded one
Really?
in like 2020, and I never posted it.
Dang.
You know, just took me a while to get over myself.
Mm.
I think he'd be cool with the person I am right now, but he'd be like, dude, why did it take so long for you to just like be comfortable with yourself?
To send it.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I'd probably say that too. Like, I feel like he'd just be stoked that I was living in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like sophomore in high school, I never would have thought.
Yeah, not in a million years.
No, dude, I was like obsessed with a guy named Jay Alvarez, and he was like a YouTuber, social media guy, and just made sick lifestyle videos. And he lives out here. He lives like right next to Waimea, and
Jay
Alvarez, he's sick. And I was obsessed with him, and I just never thought that I would live 10 minutes away from him. That's pretty crazy. So I'd be stoked, but I would say I think my younger self would be mad that it took me so long to get here. Because I think 26, when you're a sophomore in high school, you're like, you are so old. How are you not a millionaire yet? You know?
Yeah, 20. Yeah.
26 is a lot to a 16-year-old.
26, 27.
Oh yeah, what do I? Oh yeah, we're 27. Holy cow!
Lime ties.
Over a decade ago.
Not gonna lie, this guy looks like a tool.
Doesn't
Anyways.
ever.
Right up Sam's
Doesn't-
alley.
Hold on.
He's just like
Name a
in all his photos.
big social media guy
Yeah.
who
Oh, yeah.
doesn't look like a tool.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't
Well-
look like a tool.
Doesn't seem like a total tool. There's a lot of like, I think down to earth guys out there.
Totally.
Would you say Chris Hemsworth is a tool?
That's different. He's an actor though.
Oh, big. Oh, okay, I see. What you
Big
mean.
social media, like someone who just puts themselves on social media, you can't help but look somewhat like a tool. I'm not saying they all look like
You
this
guys
guy.
know
This is
who-
the photo I'm looking at. Right
He's also like
pretty bad one.
he's also like a model, so it's
You guys know Tyler
Weird.
Cameron
the
from
full
Bachelor?
hour.
Tyler Cameron. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's on World's Toughest Test right now.
Oh, nice.
Dude, that guy is sick. He's just like super down to earth, awesome. I didn't watch that season of The Bachelor, and so I just thought he was a major tool this whole time. I saw him on the show. I'm
Like anyone that goes on The Bachelor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this dude's like so genuine and just doesn't. He just cuts through all the bull crap and stuff. It's sick.
Dude,
Just because he's like super ripped and good looking, and he's like, dude.
People write him off.
that's your
Yeah.
first thought. Anyone who's like attractive, good looking, has a big social media presence, you're like, oh, what a tool. You're like, what the freak? That's exactly where any of us would want to be.
Yeah.
A little bit of jealousy playing in there.
Yeah, 100%,
Oh,
dude.
for
But no,
sure.
I don't blame you. I mean, like,
You think you'd be different if you were in their shoes or something?
yeah, and I wouldn't at all. If I looked like that and had that life, I would be. That would perfect. That's exactly what I would be like.
Yeah, if it brought in 200K a month.
Oh yeah, dude.
Selling your soul.
Illuminati.
I mean, I will say, like, Jay Alvarez started out exactly how I would want to. Like, he was just making cool lifestyle videos of like the North Shore, where he was just.
Did he grow up on the North Shore?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And yeah, dude, it was just like was living the life that I always wanted, and so yeah, you take enough pictures of yourself to put them on social media, and you look like a
You gotta have like a different level of self-confidence. Yeah.
totally.
I would have told myself to post on Vine. Jeez. Talk about going viral. You don't need it 6 seconds
Easily.
too. You just
6 seconds.
could post it. Oh my gosh.
Some of those guys are
How
so
many?
funny though. I'm not that creative. Like those guys are so funny.
But you just needed, or you could just be good looking or something, you know? All those.
All you see, you say that, and it's just. I think that comedy, like anything, is just a muscle that you can work out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you say, like, I'm not that funny. It's because you spend 0 time throughout your day to be funny. If that was your whole life, like, Well, okay.
Call me out like that.
Maybe not
That's not
zero.
true.
I meant like
You're never funny.
no,
After amateur hour, I was like, you guys suck.
No,
You're clearly not working out your comedy muscles.
honestly, yeah, I don't think any of us are. I think we all kind of flopped. But no, like if that was your job, is to make funny videos,
Yeah.
you'd figure it out.
Yeah, you think about it all the time. See what works, see what doesn't.
That was the time. You just post no longer than 6 seconds. And if you just kept posting, how many people? I knew very few people that actually posted Vines. All my friends, none of them were posting. Everyone's just watching. With TikTok, a lot of people who kind of try to post and stuff, but it's more saturated with creators than Vine was for sure.
Yeah, probably because of the monetization part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't really monetize Vine.
Not at the time, but then they gained popularity, and now those same people are.
They
Yeah,
all jumped over to YouTube,
Yeah.
where they were paying tons.
yeah.
And so they instantly had a following.
That's where like Jake Paul and all them came from, right?
Yeah, dude, David,
Just Vine.
David Dobrik.
Zach King, Final Cut King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So many of them all came from Vine.
Shawn Mendes was a Vine boy.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
I think Luke Combs started
Hmm.
on Vine. Tons of many people, dude.
Justin Bieber started on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So crazy. Yeah, I just would have put myself out there. I would have told my sophomore self to do that.
Yeah, I would grab him by the throat.
No, you can't talk to them.
Oh.
They're only talking to you.
Nah.
They're getting a glimpse of your life.
Spun up. Vine.
It's like Interstellar, that scene. He's like,
just
banging on the thing.
window. Come on.
Making a book fall. That's all you can do.
Post on Vine. Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, with all your earnings on Vine.
Bitcoin.
Buy Bitcoin.
Oh, man.
Do you guys personally know anyone that's like made a lot of money off of Bitcoin?
Not personally.
Not a lot of money. I know a couple people who had like 2 or 3 Bitcoins. So maybe 100K worth or something.
Yeah.
Solid.
I have a cousin. I don't know the full story. If he watches, hit me up. Let me know the full story, man. But he made it big off of, it was either like Bitcoin or he like, I don't know. I've heard 2 different stories. First story I heard is that he bought Bitcoin, only put like a few thousand in it, and now like bought a house in Newport and is just like chilling. And he's our age. Yeah.
F that fool.
I know. I was
Or
like, what?
sponsor us.
Or sponsor us.
Yeah.
We'll
Then
cut
the
that first part out.
The second story I heard is that him and a buddy got into like developing stuff and developed something and sold it. And I was like, well, that's sick. And that's a totally different story. Which one's true? So tell me the truth, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I got lucky and won the lottery, I would say I started a tech company and sold it for millions.
If you win the lottery,
What
you
tech
would
company?
lose.
It's just some SaaS company.
Some SaaS lotto company.
Comp lot.
SaaS lot.
SaaS lot. Gamble lot. .io.
I don't know what SaaS means. So.
Software as a service.
Oh, that's cool.
The more you learn.
Yeah.
Does that conclude this episode?
This was not our best. I'll be more prepared next time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were bad, dude. I don't think either of us had anything. You had stuff prepared, like more than last night. I feel like we.
I was throwing stuff in.
Yeah, gosh, we're the worst. But don't.
It's you two. It's not me.
It's not Tyson. Dang it, we're off the bar.
Firing ourselves.
Y'all are fired. I started this thing. I'm gonna take it down.
Gosh dang it. Yeah, who owns 51% of this podcast?
If Tyson could tell his 2-month ago self,
To
don't talk to
start
those
with
guys.
someone
at
I'm banging on the
at
thing.
Cheesecake. No,
Don't pick
don't talk to them.
Yeah. Go to other two.
Not them. Not them. Anyone but them. No, I love you guys.
This
You
really
guys are awesome.
shows that preparation is everything.
Preparation is everything. We should get together more and plan for this podcast a little bit.
Little
more.
plan sesh, brainstorm sesh.
Even
I
a
think-
phone call.
That's what the guys do at Mind Pump. They like, work it out and then like go on and talk about stuff.
Maybe we should have a day where we schedule a time and we all FaceTime each other.
Yeah. No, we live close enough. We
That's
can just
We could just,
just make a beach day. Bring some. Write it on your phone.
that's smart.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Little board meeting before the podcast.
Sorry for listening, folks.
Gosh, yeah, this episode sucks.
Because I wore a white shirt.
Don't like, don't subscribe.
Oh, we need to add in a little excerpt. If you want to get a question in for any one of us, feel free to blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna start over. Cut that out.
It's in. Anything you say is liable to be in the podcast.
Is liable to be in the podcast. If you want to get a question in for one of the boys, send us a DM on Instagram. Since 96 podcast or just since 96?
Since 96 podcast.
Since 96 podcasts. And we'll try to get your question in. There might be a lot, so don't feel bad if we don't get to your question, but we'll try.
Popular, man. That's, you know.
Also, I do know a few black people. Just want to be clear on that. Other than that, thanks for listening.
Oh boy. Until next time.
We got 2 minutes. What should we talk about?
Oh, you trying to reel us back in, dude?
Yeah, dude. The best stuff always happens once we turn off the cameras.
It's true. A couple go to a restaurant and the husband, well, not yet husband, but the boyfriend, he's got to propose to, the girlfriend. They sit down and he plans out beforehand and they're going to have oysters at this fancy restaurant. And he gives the waiter the ring to put in the oyster. Oysters come and he's ready. He's nervous. He's sweating and he's about to break open the oyster that has the ring in it. And he breaks it open. And guess what's inside? Talking cookies.
What? What the F was that?
I knew it was one of those jokes.
I don't get it.
You told us the first part like a month ago.
Oh. Hey, it's that one. Oh, F you, Tyson. That was awesome.
It turned on.
there it
go.
And it signaled.
Wow, that's nice.
Huh.
Oh, maybe
Does it always do that?
maybe it died.
Oh.
I
Well,
think
even better.
I think it died. Well, everybody, that's all we got for you today.
Oh.
Thanks for tuning in.
Until next time.